Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of my favorite things that I've been wearing this spring and summer. I've completely switched the style of t-shirts that I like over the years. Now I'm kind of back to liking just super specific kind of styles of graphic rather than the banger t-shirts. So a lot of these are just going to be like 70s and 80s graphics that I really like the fit of. Our first category is going to be just like kind of the more slim fitting shirts that show off the guns. This shirt is included in that, as well as this shirt that I've shown on the channel before, which is this Ridge California wine label tee. Our second category, there's really only one in here, which is the oversized baggy shirt. I have a few other ones that I've shown, but this is the one that gets worn every single week, so I wanted to highlight it. We have this 90s Polo Ralph Lauren like cowboy boot shirt. There is that beautiful 90s polo tag. And last in the t-shirt category has been my latest obsession, which is vintage Champion shirts, specifically these gray ones. They just have the best graphics. A lot of them are going to be for colleges and schools. And I just like the details on these because of the fit. This one is my newest one. We have a 70s Arizona State ink print, but this is the fit that I think is a little bit better than this one. But we have this 70s Texas A&M jogger Snoopy tee, and then we have the one that has seen the most wear, this Arizona State one that's the same cut as the Snoopy one. Side note, if you have a Snoopy Arizona State tee, I'll buy it and I'll probably just pay up for it. They do have a mounted collar, as you can see right there, and they have nice cloth tags. You can see I wear the hell out of this one. And then we have the blue bar on the Snoopy one. And this is just kind of what I'm talking about with these Champion tees, especially once you get them worn in to where they're kind of like fit your body a little bit better. Like they just look so good. I just don't think that there's a better shirt to wear than these vintage Champion tees right now. So the first one that we have here is a recent purchase that I got at Carnival. We have a probably 50s or 60s-ish Aloha shirt. This one is for Barbados, and this style is kind of the style of these that I prefer, just these kind of like tourist ones where they've, got the destinations and everything. This one is definitely rayon, and as you can see, some of the details that'll kind of tell, even though it doesn't have a tag, that it is older, is it is selvage on the inside. This has been heavy in the rotation since I bought it. Next one is the classic, one of, in my opinion, the best pieces of clothing ever made. We have the button-down Oxford shirt. You can debate on if this is the best, but this is probably the most iconic. We have the Polo Ralph Lauren version from the 90s. This is something that my dad has a ton of these from the 90s as well. So like it's kind of sentimental to me in that way too. For the summer, you want the poplin material, which I'm gonna try to show you guys. The poplin one is the one that's a little bit thicker, and the reason that that one is better for the summer is because it's a little bit more breathable since these threads are a little bit bigger. This one has the flesh pony, which I always think is a good detail. And of course, it is on that classic Ralph Lauren tag. And then our last in the shirts category is this vintage 60s Wrangler pearl snap. This one is by far the one that I wear the most, especially during this season, just because of the wear and how soft this one is. As you can see, if we look a little bit closer, it's got a great patina on that nice 60s Wrangler tag. And yeah, just like a ton of nice wear on this one. I think I might be putting a hole in one of these sleeves, but yeah. I mean, you guys can't feel how soft it is, but just you can tell by looking at that how soft this thing is. I live in Portland, so I can get away with wearing a lightweight jacket. And I think even if you live somewhere hotter than Portland, it's definitely something to keep in mind when you are shopping for stuff in the summer because it can get cold at night. This was one of the other pickups from Carnival. We have this 60s OG 107 Ripstop poplin slant pocket shirt, but I just wear this as a lightweight jacket. This one is nicely worn in and faded, and it's just like a great, like I kind of style this like I would a short coat, a chore coat. You can see where the patches were taken off, and I always love these tags. I just think that these tags, like these cloth tags, are just really nice. And then this one also has a repair on one of the sleeves. There we go. You can see it was stitched up. And here you can see what I'm saying when I say I try to wear this more like a chore jacket and just treat it as a chore jacket versus something like a shirt like it was intended to. I just think that it works better this way, and it's just kind of like the perfect thing to just throw on when it's cool in the morning or it's cold at night. We have my Visvim crash jacket. This is the jumbo version, so it's the oversized version. It is so perfect for the summer. If the Patagonia jacket is what I wear fall, winter, spring all the time, this is what I wear spring, late spring, summer, and early fall, because it just is that good of a jacket. Some of the details that I think really set it apart from any other jacket is the cotton peak material, which is like just basically corduroy for the summer. And then the way that they pattern this is really special because they put all of these darts in so that even though this is a way oversized jacket, it does fit the shape of a more traditional denim jacket. They also did that on the cuffs. I feel like you can see what I'm talking about a little bit more when I try it on. When I say that this thing fits oversized, but it fits like a tailored oversized jacket. Like it doesn't look like a jacket that's just a couple sizes too big because of the way that they did all of the darting around the waistband and the cuffs, which I think is probably my favorite detail of this jacket. We have a Lee 101J jacket. This one's just got like the perfect fade, the perfect patina. It doesn't really have any rips or stains or anything, but it just has that beautiful wash that I like, especially out of like Lee denim. It just takes this color that is like so perfect and satisfying to me. This one is on that 50s to 60s Lee tag. This one's definitely like a 60s one though. And then you can see on the neck, there's like a great patina starting there. And then my favorite detail on these actually is these cat eye buttons. And they did these a lot later too, but I just love the cat eye buttons. This is kind of how I like to style the 101J. I think it looks best if it lines up with the waistband of your pants. So I try to wear like shorter shirts with it or tuck my shirts in. We have a 70s pair of Gap Carpenter pants. I am messing with white pants. I didn't think that I would say that. I thought I would never do it, but these kind of opened my eyes again. When I was in like high school, I had like a pair of white selvage jeans that I got on sale for super cheap. I've come back to it. These ones aren't particularly baggy. They fit closer to a 501, and they have spurred my search for like the perfect pair of ecru vintage Levi's. We have a 80s pair of Nordstrom pleated linen pants in a beautiful mocha brown colorway. They're triple pleated. They are a thicker linen, and they were super starched when I got them, but I just wear them like rough basically. And then the hems were kind of done really weird. They just kind of had an X stitch. So I ended up just removing the X stitch, and now I just give them kind of a sloppy roll to match the broken in look of them. As you can see, they are triple pleated, which is a detail I always love to see on my vintage pants. These ones are exclusively for Nordstrom by Clifford if you want to find your own pair on eBay. And then, like I was saying, the hem was weird. They were just kind of stitched in, so I just kind of give them a rough cuff. As you can see, I do just like a rough cuff on these. I just kind of roll them a little bit. And I think that like this is the best way to wear linen. I think that you shouldn't baby linen. I think that just wearing it rough and natural is the best way. And that's how I like to wear these pants. And then our last two pairs are going to be chinos, super classic polo chino, double pleats and cotton. These ones are thicker. Most of the time people hem these and then they're too short for me, but this pair is unhemmed. Y2K Banana Republic surplus chinos. These things have a gigantic wide leg, which I feel like a lot of you guys would appreciate. They're kind of modeled off of 50s officer chinos, but again, they just have like a huge leg on them, which you guys are gonna see a little bit more when I try them on. Let's look out for this. This is the tag you want. Banana Republic surplus chino. These are the Banana Republic chinos on. As you can see, they just have such a wide leg. I haven't actually measured them, but I feel like they're at least like a 10-inch leg opening. And yeah, they're really great for the summer just because they're so wide and flowy that you don't get that hot in them, which is really nice. I totally forgot to include these because I was wearing them, but this has been like my most worn pair of shorts this summer. Coincidentally, they were my only pair of shorts, but we have a pair of OG 107s, which were already cut off, and then I just cut them off shorter into shorts, and they are absolutely perfect for the summer. For our next category, we are going to have denim. You guys know how much I love my jeans. This pair is actually a pair that I got at the bins last week. It's a 90s pair of Made in USA 501s. They're size 34 by 34, so they fit me pretty nice. These ones are kind of one of the years where it's like a little bit slimmer than most other 501s, but they just have like a perfect vintage wash. You cannot recreate this. Like you just can't recreate this. And that's what makes these so beautiful. They're super soft, and again, they just have that sandy wash that I love. We have a pair of 70s-ish Wrangler 13 MWZs. The main reason that I got these is because of the size. The size is hard for me to find, and these are just gonna look really beautiful with my boots. I've been wearing them with my Converse because it's just kind of been too hot to wear boots. These ones just have a great patina, just like a great slim boot fit, and you can see how long they are. And this is what they look like on. As you can see, they stack really nicely and they just look good with the full denim fit. And our last section is going to be shoes. This is my most recent pair that I bought. We have a pair of Vans LX slip-ons, and I got them in the cream version with the white stripe around the foxing this time. These ones are just the ones that are modeled after the original ones. So if you're going to buy a pair of Vans, I would recommend getting the LX version because it's kind of like the Chuck 70 situation. These ones just look a little bit better, the materials are a little bit better, and they're not that much more expensive. We have a pair of loafers, great for the summer. These are the Polo Ralph Lauren Edric loafer, I believe, which is really just the Rancourt Beefroll and Chrome XL that has been white labeled. So if you guys are on the lookout and you want to find a steal, I ended up getting these for like 20 bucks brand new actually. But just to show you guys what you want to look for with these to make sure you're getting the right one, you want the ones that say that they're made in USA on the inside, because those ones are the ones that are the Rancourt ones. The ones that are made in different countries are not going to be good unless they're like made in Spain, Italy, or bench made in England. Those are the ones that you want to look out for Polo if you want to find a steal. Converse, made in Japan, based off of the 80s Converse. These have 3 years of wear in them and they're still kicking. highly recommend these over vintage Converse, over the Chuck 70, over anything. These are the best.